Hello, this is video H for the Mac. This is going to be to set up C++ so that you can type in C++ programs and run them, type in input, all that stuff. Okay, we got to get it first. You go to Safari or whatever browser you like to use on your Mac, and what we want is what? Sublime Text, S-U-B-L-I-M-E text. Sublime Text. That's an editor, one of the system programs, a sophisticated editor, no less. So I'm going to click on that. That's the first link that came up. And it took me right to download for Mac. I don't know if it does that by default. I've been here before. Maybe it did that. You might have to go click on download and then go to the one for the Mac. But it's going to get the same thing. And download. And after it's downloaded, I'll click on that to see it there. And I go to the magnifying glass. That's about the only way I know how to do it, to get to it directly. And there it is, Sublime Text DMG. Double click on that. Uh-oh, couldn't be open. The resource is busy. So I clicked on it again. I have no idea what a busy resource is. And it looks like we are in business. So let me do some stuff. I don't need the DMG anymore. I'll go ahead and trash that while I'm here. You don't have to do that part, but I did just to clean up the mess. And I don't even need the browser anymore. I'm going to clear the downloads and stop Safari, quit Safari. And here we are, Sublime Text app. Let me see if I can drag this down here. I'm going to be using that on the Mac quite a bit. So I'm just holding down the mouse and dragging it down here, and boom, now it's on my desktop. And I don't even need this window anymore after it copies. Now, I'm going to double click on Sublime Text and open up the app. It's an app download, yeah, why not, go ahead. And here we are. Now what can I do? I'm going to click on that. So now it knows it's in Sublime Text, and I'm going to make a new file. And there's the new file. So much for that. It doesn't give you much to work with, does it? But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and type in the stuff I know to type in. I know I'm going to need #, INCOUDE, IO stream, using namespace SDD. I'm a horrible typist. That's going to show in this video. Now, you might think, that doesn't look like such a smart editor after all. It doesn't show different colors except white on black. Watch this, though. I'm going to fulfill my suspicions and see what happens here. I'm going to save as, and where? Let me see if it's in the browse somewhere. I'm going to browse to, well, let's see. I want to make a new folder, but I got to make a new folder somewhere. Users, me, you can put this anywhere you want. The new folder I'm going to make is, you guessed it, CS2124 Summer 2020. Ah yes, the summer of 2020. So now I'm in that new folder, and I don't want to save it as that. It just took the first line of the file. I'm going to save it as hello summer camel cased .cpp. The .cpp is an indicator to the operating system. Let me save it, and before I even make a claim that I can't back up. And look, now the editor knows that this is a C++ file, and it uses its special colors to show me that it knows what some of that means. I don't know what that thing is, but it's a thing, all right. You know what? I'm going to make this bigger. That's too big. Shrink it back down. I'll stretch it. One moment, please. There. Hello, summer. Int main void. We gotta have that. Int main void. See out. Howdy. We'll see if we see a howdy. Less than, ENDL. All that stuff is in the input-output video. And there we go. Now that I've done something, let's just get out of here. Return 0. Go back to where you came from. Now, file save, or I could use Command S. You might want to use hotkeys. You probably already know some of those if you've been used to using your Mac for a while. But Command S, or you can use this menu and save it. And now I've saved it. And I should be able to browse over to it. Not on Safari. Good grief, it's not on the web. One moment. How about Finder? And wherever my new folder is. Well, I'm going to need to drag it over here to favorites because it's not there right now. Recents, are you in recents? No, it's not in recents. Those are all movies. Those are all videos. I'll just go through the long way. Macintosh HD users and Robert England and well, I've got 220 today. I want the one from today. You know what? I think I can. Is it control drag? No. Is it command drag? Yes. Now I can put it over here so I can get to it real fast. I'll just drop it right there. And now I don't have to do that painful browsing around to find it anymore. I can click on that and there it is. HelloSummer.cpp. Except all I've done is create a source code file. Now here's the part, magic at your fingertips, that you might not have already known that you had. But we want to go to Finder and surf down, here we go again, Applications. And what we want is to open a terminal window, which isn't at this level. It's under Utilities, I guess. Utilities, terminal app, there it is. Now, this terminal app, that's where we're going to be compiling and linking and running, you know, all that other stuff after we do the editing. But we're going to be doing that so often that while this icon is down here, I'm going to, is it control click that, and options, that's what I want. I want to keep that in the dock. So now I've pinned that, look at that, it moved over here. Now it's pinned to the dock so I don't have to surf around and find it all the time. I could have done that with Sublime Text, but it's too late now. Here I am. Let me see where I am. PWD is print working directory, and I'm in Robert England. But I don't want to be in directly Robert England. I want to CD, which is change directory, down to whatever I called it, CS 2124 summer 2020. And now if I do PWD, print working directory, it shows me that I'm in CS 2124 for summer 2020. LS is short for list. Now you're going to have to learn some basic Linux commands to work at the terminal. Mental note, I need to attach that to an email to you. But here is my source code file. If I want to see it here at the terminal, it's going to be much uglier than this gorgeous multicolor version over here. But I could do cat for concatenate. Cat hello summer. Hello summer.cpp. All it does is just type out the contents of that file. Int main void, howdy, return 0, all that stuff. Now here we go. If I want to actually run this program and see if it does what it's supposed to do, what I use is a built-in builder, which means it will compile and link it, and it's called G++, short for GNU++. But if you don't know what GNU means in the computing world, then it doesn't make any difference. It's just G++. Then you give it the name of your source code file, which in this case is hello summer.cpp. And you cross your fingers and wait and hope that it's able to build that. And if you don't get anything back, it looks like it didn't do anything. If you don't get anything back, that's good news. That means that it was able to compile and link that into an executable program. So now to run it, here's a weird thing. We just got to get used to it. You do ./a.out. That's automatically the name that's given to the executable file. After your source code's been translated to machine code, linked together to the library, the system puts it in a file called a.out in the same folder. And look, it printed howdy. Now if I do an ls to see what files I have, I've actually got two files. This is the source code version. That is the executable version. Just for fun, why would I want both of these windows? And why would I want them both at the same time? Well, when I'm working on a program, I'll generally go back and forth like a sewing machine needle trying to get this thing to work, for crying out loud. So let's change it so that it's not just howdy, it's howdy, Dr. E. There. So now it should print a different message. Howdy, Dr. E. And I'll come back over here and I'll compile it and run it again. G++, I got to go back all the way to the beginning. And beautiful. Now I got to do dot/a.out. A strange little combination, but it's always the same. And it says, well, it said howdy, but it didn't say howdy, Dr. E. Here's where the life cycle of programming kicks in. I've changed it in the editor, in memory. It is not changed on disk yet. I've got to go up here as a separate step and say save, or hit the command key, Command S. Now it's saved. Now I can print hello, Dr. E. And I'll get some blank lines to separate that from the previous output. So this is going to be G++. By the way, if you saw me type that real fast, if you probably already know this, but you can use the up arrow to go back through the history of commands that you typed in. Oh no, I went too far. Then I can go forward using the down arrow. Or I can just type it in every time. dot/a.out. Darn it, it still says howdy. Oh, well, that's because I didn't do the mother may I didn't do the G++. Hello summer.cpp. Yikes! My first error message, oh, we broke the seal, is trying to tell me something here. Expected semicolon. It thought this was supposed to be the end of the statement right here. That's because, let's look at this and analyze it. Undeclared identifier, Dr. E. Well, how dare you? You're an undeclared identifier yourself. Take that. 2 errors generated. It doesn't know that I wanted to print out Dr. E because I didn't put it inside the double quotes. It takes everything I type so literally. So a couple of errors. It thought the end of the quotes was the end of the statement. It should have been. And it also thought Dr. E was an undeclared variable. Remember, identifiers are the magic name for things that we have to come up with our own names for, like variables. So it thinks Dr. E is supposed to be a variable. I am anything except a variable. So let me put myself inside quotes here. Howdy, Dr. E, 2 exclamation points, double quote. As long as it's all in double quotes, then it's all part of the same string. Now, if I were to run it right now, you could tell me what would happen. It's going to give me the same errors again. I'll use the up arrow and prove it. Try to G++ it. Gives me exactly the same errors because I haven't copied it from memory out to long-term storage. File, save. Now, return to get some blank lines. I do that just to separate the old from the new, so it's easier to see on the screen. So, up arrow. Whoops, all I need is 1 up arrow. Ta-da, it worked. Now I'm going to up arrow and get to the a.out again so I don't have to type in all of that. And look at that. It says, howdy, Dr. E. And just to make sure, I'll do ls and see what files I have. That's all I got. If I do ls minus la, la more or less says, what is it? I don't even know what that's short for, but it means spill your guts. Tell me everything you know about these files. And here's what we know. Hello Summer is pretty small, 106 bytes. Look at that, a.out, the executable. Look at that, it generated over 23,000 bytes just from my little 106 keystrokes here. What it did was it had to link together to the library for input and output, and that makes the executable, when it puts together that gigantic jigsaw puzzle of your dinky little source code with the library, then it's a gigantic executable file. You can just expect that. The dot means the current directory. That's why we're typing a.out. We're telling the operating system, look in this current directory where I am right here to find a.out, and then you run it. The dot is the next directory up from me. So I can do cd again if I want to, cd ... and it goes up a notch. Now, when I go up a notch, I'm in pwd, print working directory. Now I'm in just my regular home directory. I'm not inside my special directory for Summer School C++ anymore. So that's enough for this demo, or so I'll claim. I'm going to quit the terminal. Quit terminal. I'm even going to quit Sublime Text. Quit Sublime Text. Now, make sure you've saved everything before you quit Sublime Text. Always remember to file, save. I'll do that as, I think I already did. Did that anyway. Now, I could either work on this some more. I could close this and make a new file. Sublime Text is still open. I can make a new file. You can experiment with this on your own. I can open recent, open a file that I already had, and I can pick up where I left off last time. All kind of good stuff. And we'll do additional demos as we need to as things get more and more complicated. But you know what? I think that'll do it for now. See you online.